Regular viewers of the channel will note that I'm in my car right now, and that's because I'm on my way to Vintage Computer Festival Midwest. This is my first one. We'll see how it goes. Vintage Computer Festival Midwest took place in beautiful Elmhurst, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. Specifically, the Clarion Inn's Waterford Conference Center, which looked unassuming from the outside, but that didn't really prepare me for the awesome power of vintage computing lurking inside. Pretty much from the moment I first walked in, I was just in awe of the sheer volume of incredible computers present. Everything from old teletype stuff and classic workstation terminals, to micros with 8 or more bits, to the big honkin' mini computers that I emulate every day, to the 90s tech that I grew up on, and even some later stuff that's vintage for the current generation. It really was awesome. The venue had these 4 sectioned off spaces, which were organized into 4 zones. Zone A was for vendors, micros, and more. Zone B was also for micros and more. Zone C was for, okay, come on. All right, so the zones kind of felt like more of a suggestion than an actual guideline. More like booths were just peppered where they could stick them. And I don't fault them at all for this because honestly, this place was jam-packed. That said, the 4th zone was for older iron and seemed to hold more strictly to that theme. Which was awesome because there were so many great things here to gawk at and admire. Beyond the 4 zones, the main hallway was full of vendors, selling all kinds of great gear. Everything from older computers and peripherals to more modern, possibly productive laptops. It was awesome. At the end of the hallway was a little area called the Free Pile, which was always a madhouse. I forgot to film this on Friday night, but luckily Steve from Mac84 managed to capture some of this before it was thoroughly picked over on Saturday and Sunday. Beyond just the computers themselves, there were all kinds of fun things happening. At one area, they were leading Learn to Solder classes, which I thought was super cool. Because if you're going to be getting into vintage 8-bit computers and peripherals, you're probably going to want to know how to solder. And there was an entire area where folks were just having a good old-fashioned LAN party. It was awesome. And of course, there were panels, including a big YouTuber panel featuring some of my favorite folks in the vintage computing scene.
People were like, when did you get into retro computers? And I'm like, when they were just called computers.
If anyone in here is a creator, putting yourself on YouTube, those passive-aggressive things that the Creator Studio says, your video is not doing well because, whatever. Where can I turn that off? There should be a plugin for Chrome or whatever to hide that garbage.
Whether you like it or not, as a creator, the thumbnail is more important than the video. If no one clicks, no one's going to see the video.
Okay, everybody in unison make thumbnail face.
Oh, yeah.
Itself was another one of those. I was doing it outside, cleaning it off, and I had it in the front yard, just sort of blowing it off, and I didn't notice because the compressor was on. The mailman came up, he sent the mail, and he said, "Everything okay, buddy?"
So there's a PDP-11 upstairs. It's up for sale, and the problem with that machine is that all of the licenses for the operating systems explicitly stated once the customer's done with that software, they must destroy it. So we actually have time bombs in some of these machines that actually cause the destruction of what is our history as well. So without these people going and taking the illegal option and saving those tapes, saving those distribution backups, making copies of their system software, we wouldn't even be able to run these machines.
One last thing, I need you to say something in John St. John's voice.
Oh, well, I can't do John St. John's voice, but I can do mine.
Yep, there was so much to do at VCF Midwest. More than I could talk about in a single video. Of course, the big draw for a vintage computer festival is the vintage computers, and the assorted peripherals, knickknacks, and accessories that go along with them. Unlike some super corporate computer conference full of vendors trying to sell you something, VCF was mostly just average enthusiasts showing off their passion for the equipment which brought us into the modern era. Not that there weren't plenty of opportunities to buy, sell, and trade computers and computer accessories. But all in all, it was 2 days full of folks bonding over this shared passion, and that's awesome. While the audio on the main floor isn't great, I did manage to record a few fun conversations. And I found an Action Retro!
Oh! How's it going?
It's going great. These computers are all fake, and we got some excellent Altair clones. I love your shirt, by the way. Get your crayon. That's so great.
It's one of only a dozen.
Oh, hey there, I am Ken from Canadian Retro Things and also the Google Nation podcast.
Okay, for some reason you're blurry.
It's just me naturally.
This is my absolutely bone stock Macintosh SE30. I've done nothing to it.
This is exactly how it came from the factory.
Sorry, I was confusing it with now. This is my extremely modified Macintosh SE30. Yeah, I get them mixed up.
Well, the Experimenter does not have a case. It also does not have a VT100 emulator.
Okay.
But what the Experimenter is made for really is easy access to the expansion port.
All of these are based on the 6809 Motorola processor.
6809, not the 6502.
6809.
Yeah, this is a funny story behind this. Actually, I found this. Someone in Philly was just selling it randomly on Craigslist. When I found it, it was spray painted totally black. Turned out to have a whole bunch of mods in there. And then I posted some videos about it. The original owner saw the videos randomly.
Fantastic.
Contacted me, said it popped up in his feed and he nearly fell off his chair when he saw the computer he modified in college pop up in his YouTube feed.
My real passion was creating kits because I loved building kits when I was a kid.
Yep, it's a ton of fun.
So it's all through whole components.
Okay.
It's about a 4-hour build.
Okay, cool. Is there some competition between those two platforms?
Well, there's no competition because the 6809 is better and you can even upgrade it with a better one, which is the 6309.
Ooh! Friendly rivalries amongst platforms aside, VCF Midwest was all about fun. Like this amazing Apple II-based synthesizer from B. Thurman, who you can find at superphonerecordings.com. Fantastic!
This one I call Rubber Band. This one I call Sparkle.
And all around me, folks were finding great hauls to bring home. Like Taylor and Amy of The Taylor and Amy Show, one of my favorite channels on YouTube. Taylor and Amy found this Avon computer.
There it is.
So look out for this video on their channel at some point.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be lit.
We're gonna find my color palette, finally.
But Taylor and Amy weren't the only ones heading home with some new gear. I picked up this mini DV cam, just like the kind I used in high school photo video class. These cameras record digital media over mini DV tape and can export video over FireWire. This one was missing a battery, so it was only $10. A pretty good deal considering how the batteries aren't hard to find. I also picked up a bunch of floppy disks in this cool holder. I wasn't setting out to buy a bunch of diskettes, but I foolishly only packed a couple of floppies for my Mavica, a floppy-based digital camera, and needed more for all the selfies. I also picked up that fun little Altair kit from Add Water and Stir. It looks like it's going to be a blast to build, so look out for this in a future video. Beyond all of the gear and all of the fun activities at VCF Midwest, there was something cathartic about it. See, it wasn't just that we were all enjoying vintage electronics. It's that we were enjoying them together. The magic of an event like this is that we're all enjoying our passions together. not separated off into our small little corners of our small little websites, but together in the real world. The passion that you feel going to an event like VCF is absolutely infectious. And it was so easy to get swept up into the spirit of the whole thing, as my hilarious Mavica selfies will show. It seemed like every direction I turned, people were having a blast. All over a shared appreciation for the impossible technology of yesterday, which made the technology of today possible. Well, as you can see, I got the mini DV cam working, which is pretty fun. Anyway, this trip would not have been possible without the very generous support of my patrons. So if you're helping support the channel financially each month, thank you so much for helping make this happen. If you're interested in getting some cool perks like a weekly newsletter about what I'm up to behind the scenes, or maybe just a chance to DM me and chat a little bit about whatever you got on your mind, well, not whatever's on your mind, but like something related that's on your mind, you can join the Patreon at patreon.com/Veronica Explains. And there's also a Ko-fi option at ko-fi.com/Veronica Explains, but like, I'll put the links in the description. Supporters are what help make Veronica Explains possible, and without them, I don't think I'd be able to do this. So thank you so much. This used to be an improv game. I would do with kids, where we would do.
And you can buy this. Oh my god. This is the most advanced thing we've ever seen.
So you would have to do increasingly complex. It's like hacky sack.